I imagine most of us have fairly straightforward pictures in our heads about what our lives will look like and who we will become. When something happens that is not inside the four corners of that picture, we view it as a detour and hope to get back on track as quickly as possible. So what happens when you take a detour and can't ever get back to the original picture?
My detour was a massive brainstem stroke that almost took my life. I had a 6-month-old baby, and my husband was weeks away from finishing law school. Obviously, I lived. However, I've had 11 surgeries and I can't do so many things I used to. And there is a profound sense of loss that lingers. But I've learned above all other lessons to discover a hope that heals the most broken places, our souls. Perhaps some detours aren't detours at all. Perhaps they are actually the path, the picture, and perhaps they can be perfect.
Welcome to MomTalk. It is an honor, and I am so touched by having Katherine Wolf here today on MomTalk. Hope Heals is the conversation we will have today, and my hope is that throughout this conversation we're able to touch some of your souls and hearts and inspire you so that you will join Katherine in her journey and be inspired and connected. So, Katherine, welcome to MomTalk. It's such an honor to have you here.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
So I have to say, over 8 years ago, or close to 7.5 years ago, is when I first heard you.
Okay.
And it was at Bel Air Press Preschool, Mother's Day.
Yes.
And you took over my heart and soul and just really captured me, and your story inspired me. I remember it like it was yesterday.
Oh, you were so sweet to say that, Nelly. Well, it's such a blessing to get to share my story. Should I look out here?
Yes, please.
It's such a blessing. It's such a unique story, and I feel so just blessed to get to share it with anybody who'll listen. So thank you for listening. It's really a gift to get to share my tragedy in many ways that I believe that God has really used in such a powerful way to bring about just so many beautiful things. And thank you so much for highlighting that, Nelly.
So your latest book, Hope Heals. Tell us about this journey and how you decided to become a co-author and write this book and tell your story.
Well, we didn't really decide. It kind of happened to us, and I guess that's many times how things work out in this life. Yeah. Essentially, once I had the stroke for many years, we were in recovery mode and just dealing with life, and then eventually a publisher kind of came into our lives, and slowly but surely one thing worked out, and we ended up just not even, like, normally people write a book and would present a manuscript to be, submit a manuscript to many publishers, I guess is what I mean. And we kind of went about it backwards. They kind of came to us, and then we ended up writing the book after we'd signed off on it, and then Hope Heals came to me. So it was really years and years of building, though, up to that point of just getting to share our unique story in that format, and knowing that a book is just such a powerful, tangible way to present sort of the story of what happened exactly.
And oftentimes in the journey of what happens to us, and you put it in such beautiful way that you're explaining this stroke happened to you, but maybe, you know, this is your journey, or definitely this is your journey. You've come to this point of realization and sharing your story that because of your stroke, you are now able to connect and touch and affect so many millions and millions of moms and parents.
Absolutely. I think that we don't have control over what happens to us in life. Many times we don't have control over it at all. Yeah. But we do have control over our response to what happens to us. That's really where we get to make some decisions. And what I've been able to do with the tragedy of my stroke is really use it to inspire others and really see this unique path as not the detour, but as really the path I was supposed to be on all along. And it just sort of took a stroke to get me pointed the right way, in fact, which sounds insane, but I don't think so at all. I think that for each of us in our unique stories and lives, there is an assignment that we are called to really live into and live fully into. And that is hard and complicated many times. No one's life is perfect. No one is dealing with ideal situations. People have hard things in their lives. And I've had some hard things in my life for sure. And that's where a lot of the good stuff really comes out. As an artist, you would understand that you're an artist and 10,000 other amazing things, that beauty comes in the brokenness, that the character is really built in the kind of hard, messy seasons in our lives. And we can really share from that place and see it as, wow, this is really special. What happened to me is very unique, and I think that actually is all of us, that the worst things that happen to us are actually these amazing things, if we have the eyes to see it that way, as opportunities for God to use us in a very unique way.
So I'm going to take this opportunity to translate for our Farsi-speaking audience. خانم کاترین ولف در به اصطلاح زندگیشون، در دوران زندگیشون سختی ها رو به این صورت میبینن که فرصتی هستش برای اینکه داستان خودشون رو یا اون اتفاقی که برای ایشون افتاده که ایشون استروک داشتن و به خاطر این آسیب مغزی به خصوص در رابطه با صحبت کردنشون یا اون شیوهی که میتونستن کارایی رو انجام بدن یا نتونن انجام بدن، به خاطر این آسیب ایشون تصمیم گرفتن که این صدمه رو به این صورت معنا بهش بدن، معنا بخشی در رابطه با اینکه چگونه میتونن دیگران رو کمک بکنن، دیگرانی که شاید استروک و یا آسیب مغزی دارن، مادران دیگه‌ای که با سختی‌های بسیار بسیار و دشواری‌های بسیار برخورد میکنن و از طریق ایمان هستش که ایشون رو کمک میکنه که قدم به قدم این راه رو، این مسیر رو طی بکنن و کمک بکنن به مادران و پدران و خانواده های دیگه که چگونه با سختی ها و دشواری ها و مشکلاتشون به اصطلاح روبرو بشن. ایشون قبل از اینکه این اتفاق براشون، این حادثه براشون، این تراژدی براشون اتفاق بیفته، یک مادر مثل من و شما بودن، یک مادر فعال و مشغول و زیبا و از همه به اصطلاح امکانات و کمال برخوردار بودن و شوهرشون هم سال آخر به اصطلاح حقوق دانی و لاسکول رو تموم می‌کردن با 2 فرزند کوچک و این اتفاق، این استروک ایشون رو، زندگیشون رو تغییر داد، به قول معروف دگرگون کرد، متحول کرد و از بالا به پایین و به اصطلاح یک زندگی کاملا متفاوت به ایشون داد. ولی ایشون میتونستن که اون موقع افسرده بشن، میتونستن که زندگی رو با ناامیدی بهش نگاه بکنن و روبرو بکنن، ولی ایشون این انتخاب رو نکرد. ایشون با قوت، با مقاومت، با انرژی، با ایمان با این مسئله برخورد کردن و تصمیم گرفتن که داستان ایشون و قصه گویی و گفتگوی با مادران دیگه قراره که دیگران رو کمک بکنه. من خودم یکی از این مادرها بودم که شاید چند سال گذشته که ایشون رو شنیدم در پریسکول، زندگی من دشواری های آنچنانی نداشت، ولی کاملا پرسپکتیو من رو و نظر و دید من رو و اینکه ایمان چقدر میتونه کمک بکنه با برخورد ما با دشواری های زندگی رو متحول کرد و کمک کرد که من یه شفتی به عنوان یک مادر و در motherhood جور دیگه ای زندگی رو و روابطم رو با فرزندانم رو ببینم. So I was just sharing with our audience, we have an international audience and multilingual audience. I was sharing your story and how you came about internalizing and using your faith and finding meaning in the tragedy, and how you are now impacting so many lives, so many other moms and parents who are out there who need to hear your voice and who need to be inspired by your voice. And I was inspired. As a mom, I was inspired. And you impacted my relationship with my children and how
thank you.
You know, and so it is such an honor, and it's so good to have your voice on Mom Talk and to listen to you.
Thank you.
So let's move on to sort of the process. So you start off, and what year did you have the stroke?
So I had this stroke, the AVM, arterial venous malformation, that ruptured in my brain on April 21st, 2008. And I initially spent 40 days in the ICU, and then about another 2.5 months in acute rehab. And then I moved for another 1.5 years to brain rehab at Casa Colina. So almost 2 years in total of recovery after the stroke to moving home in 2010.
Okay, so in 2000, at this time you have a child?
One child. Yes, I had a 6-month-old baby when the ordeal began. And he was obviously growing as I was recovering. So when we moved back home, he was about 2.5.
So during the 2 years of recovery, how was the motherhood experience for you? And tell us about that.
Very difficult. It was very hard to be a mommy at all. I was virtually incapable of caring for a child on my own. I had many wonderful family and friends step up and do so many things for James, my oldest son, and I am so grateful. We really had a village around us, take care of him, but it was extremely difficult to navigate caring for a very young child when I was so disabled, as I largely remain today. I can't use my hand, and that makes parenting very difficult, especially in those early years. And I can't walk or drive or do a number of things that would make mothering a lot easier.
Right. And I remember when you were sharing your story then, many years ago, and I am now reminded of it now, how graceful you are in sharing your experiences, how truthful you are.
I don't know about that.
How real you are. It is really
real.
Yes. And it makes a world of difference. I think not only for the family, the children, the community, your friends and moms who are in relationship with you. And this is how you have such deep impact and influence in changing people's perspectives.
Oh, well, thank you. It's such a gift. I do have just a deep joy in my heart.
Yes.
And I think that comes out. That's an overflow. When there is real joy, you can't help but share it with other people. And I think that really changes the world.
And my understanding is that your sweet spot comes from your relationship with God.
Absolutely. My faith is the core of all this, of survival, recovery, of me going on with my life looking entirely different than I ever thought it was. And so much of the reason all of the reason actually that I can get out of bed in the morning is my deep faith that sustains me. Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's so important for those of you who are suffering, who are in deep, dark places of depression or anxiety, to know that when you do connect to God, that hope heals, as we're reminded through you, Katherine Wolf, and that there is such significance in your relationship with God. And talking about sweet spot and talking about conscious parenting or mindfulness and all these conversations that we have, peace learning, it is very much integrated into the primary relationship, your relationship, and how we all connect with God.
Absolutely. I think that's the whole deal. That
Right.
until we can really, I think there's growing research that parenting is more about modeling the kind of person you want your children to be than teaching them to be that way.
That's right.
It's
That's right.
being who you want to see them grow up to be one day. And I know for my kids, spoiler alert, I had another baby. I want them to grow up walking with the same faith that I have, trusting Jesus. I don't know if we're allowed to say that on the air.
No,
Sorry.
you're allowed.
Okay,
Your faith.
trusting
Yes.
Jesus, that's what I believe.
Yeah.
And a deep faith in God and a deep walk with Him to sustain them. So I can't help but want to instill that through the way I live more than anything I say for them to do. It's just, I want them to see their father and I choosing trust and faith and really choosing to hope in something beyond ourselves every day of our lives.
So in
Sorry, do you need to
integrating,
translate?
yeah, I'll take a moment and I'll translate. Thank you for that reminder. در رابطه با به اصطلاح سفر مادرانه کاترین وولف و هوپ هیلز که وبسایت ایشون هستش www.hopeheals.com که میتونین قصه ایشون رو، نکات مهمی رو که در به اصطلاح کلاس ها و یا گفتگوهاشون ایشون میذارن میتونین جوین بکنین و سابسکرایب بکنین. حتما در این رابطه ایشون اکسپریانس و تجربه شخصی خودشون رو داره با شما شیر میکنه، با شما بیان میکنن و میگن که موقعی که من در سخت‌ترین اوقات زندگیم، در افسردگی و از دست دادن بخشی از مغز و اعصاب و اینکه زندگیم متحول شده بود به خاطر این آسیب مغزی، در اون نقطه زندگی میتونستم که زندگی رو فراموش بکنم و بیشتر به افسردگی و اضطراب برم و در اون تاریکی خودم رو گم بکنم. ولی در اون نقطه تصمیم گرفتم که به خاطر رابطه من با خداوند، به خاطر ایمانم، به خاطر به اصطلاح اون فیث و رابطه‌ای که دارم، برای ایشون جیزس کرایست هستش، برای اینکه ایشون مسیحی هستن، ولی برای شما که مسلمون هستین یا برای شما که بودیست هستین یا برای شمایی که هر خدایی رو که باور میکنین، رابطه شما با خدا هستش. برای ایشون به عنوان یک کریسچن رابطهشون با مسیحیت بود و تصمیم گرفتن که میخوان توجهشون رو روی این بذارن که چگونه به عنوان یک مسیحی، به عنوان فردی یا مادری که با ایمان هستش، به کودکان، به فرزندانشون، به اون جامعه، به کامیونیتی دورشون یاد بدن یا نشون بدن که چگونه ایمانشون ایشون رو کمک کرده که در این سختی ها به اصطلاح مقاومتر و پاینده تر باشن و پیشرفت بکنن و به اصطلاح تحولات روحی روانی خودشون رو به صورت مثبتی در خانواده حفظ بکنن و اون بخشی از صلح آموزی و صلحجویی هستش که ایشون از طریق ایمان بهش رسیدن. و خب همسری داشتن که همسرشون در کنار ایشون رو کمک کرد و پا به پا ایشون را امروزه همواره کمک میکنن و پشت ایشون هستن و 3 فرزند بسیار بسیار نازنین دارن که ایشون با تمام این مشکلات و مقاومت هایی که در روابطشون با فرزندانشون به خاطر دیسابیلیتی، به خاطر استروکشون، به خاطر این صدمه و آسیب نمیتونن با بچه ها داشته باشن، با کمک از همسرشون، از به اصطلاح فامیل، از دوستاشون میتونن با ایمان این روابط رو حفظ کردن. و من خودم شاهد هستم که چقدر رابطه خوبی با بچه هاشون دارن، در خانواده دارن و واقعا یه رول مدل هستن، یه رول مدل بسیار نازنین برای جامعه‌ای که نگاه میکنن که چگونه با مشکلات و با بحران برخورد بکنن. دیگه از این بحران بالاتر فکر نمی کنم باشه که یک همچین فردی انقدر زندگیش تحول درش به وجود بیاد و خیلی از کارهایی رو که میتونسته انجام بده به عنوان یک مادر نتونه انجام بده، نتونه رابطه داشته باشه با فرزندش. So you move on this detour, you call it the detour, meant to be detour, right?
Absolutely.
Meant
Yes.
to be detour. And you find yourself being an inspirational speaker, a soul leader, an activist, a strong church community member.
Absolutely.
And you're moving forward just fearlessly with so much courage.
Oh, thank you.
And inspiring so many.
Oh, well, it's such a blessing, and the reality is, whether you have a massive stroke or 10,000 other issues, we all have problems and pain and sufferings and hard things. And no matter what you're going through, it's really hard if it's you. And it's your junk that you're in the middle of. So it's so relatable to talk about the disabling factors of the stroke, the things that have made me disabled, because I'm just wearing a lot of my stuff on the outside of my body, that the problems and hardships and difficulties in my life. And I've got many on the inside you don't see. But the problem with an able-bodied person is you don't get to see a lot of their junk on the outside. So you might think everything's fine, but they're not. Everyone's got pain and problems and fears and insecurities and difficulties just navigating life. So I love getting to be a voice to speak into that from a place of brokenness and weakness, because I believe fully that when we are weak, we are strong, and that God is at work and moving and carrying us to new places if we're willing to be weak and willing to be moved.
در اوقات به اصطلاح ضعف ما هستش که ما مقاومتر و قویتر و آگاهتر و اون تحول ما رو برای رشد و برای رشد روحی روانی آماده میکنه. و پیام مهم کاترین وولف در هوپ هیلز این هستش که اگر ما فقط قبول بکنیم که همه ما در درونمون یک بخش شکسته، آسیب پذیر و به اصطلاح ضعیف داریم که همه ما داریم، حالا یا این میتونه روحی روانی باشه یا میتونه فیزیکی باشه، و ایشون به این نکته اشاره میکنن که برای من شاید این شکستگی بیشتر حالت فیزیکی داره، چون شما او رو میتونین ببینین، میتونین در صورتم ببینین که بخشی از صورتم فعالیت نداره و کار نمیکنه و صحبت کردنم شکسته هستش و این آسیب رو میتونین ببینین. ولی برای خیلی از ما مادرها یا خیلی از ما پدرها اون شکستگی، اون دل شکستگی در درون ما وجود داره و شاید خیلی راحت باشه که اون دل شکستگی رو بتونیم پروتکت بکنیم، بتونیم حفظش بکنیم یا بتونیم پنهان بکنیم. و در این پنهانی هستش که ما در اصل به صورت واقعی با همدیگه کانکت و رابطه برقرار نمی کنیم. اون بخشی از ما که شکسته هستش میتونه بهترین یا بزرگترین فرصتی باشه که ما از این شکستگی و از این آسیب رشد بکنیم و با همدیگه کانکت بکنیم. And it is such an important point and how we can communicate this message to our children when it comes to building resilience or building connection with God.
Absolutely.
And understanding that when we are weak, we are strong. We're
yeah,
strongest.
absolutely.
And it is really, I think, up to us as parents, or parents who have faith, or parents who believe in peace learning and the peace learning process, to really practice this within us, as well as in the relationship with our children and the family members.
Absolutely. I think that I think there's growing research even in multiple fields that trauma, which is traditionally seen as extremely negative, and the only thing that comes from it is post-traumatic stress. And trauma is the worst thing that could happen and leaves you with a syndrome that's, unovercomable, if that's a word. But this growing pool of research says no, that in fact there's something called post-traumatic growth. That when experiencing trauma, a person can not only be resilient and come back to where they were before, but in fact grow from the trauma they've experienced and become better versions of themselves and actually learn things from the trauma, from the brokenness, from the pain. And I think that is such an important message to teach our children, that you can actually grow from the very worst things that happen to you, and that actually is life. That life is a series of really hard things, and learning how will you respond to what happens to you in life.
That's right. And when it comes to post-traumatic growth or transformation, it is the awareness that one individually experiences within themselves, intrapsychically as well as interpersonally, and how they use that awareness or apply the awareness to raising awareness with the other, or reaching to others and becoming more connectional. And you are one of the best examples.
I don't know about that, and well, I'm not very aware at all. I'm spacey and ditzy, and I feel like I don't even. I'm just a dumb blonde.
No,
but I tell you
Katherine,
what, I want to be the
amazing,
epitome of
Katherine.
awareness,
Yeah,
because I don't want to miss this life. There's just too much goodness and too many great things at work all around me to miss it by being unaware.
So can I just say, in the relationship I've had with you, which has been on a couple of occasions, very limited, personally, I have experienced such awareness, and your great ability to communicate your awareness and to inspire, and you have such strong presence in your relationship with God that you inspire, and you bring that presence into the relationship.
Oh, well, thank you for saying that. I don't always feel that way, but thank you. But you're right.
Yeah, you're very humble, and I appreciate that humbleness. And it is such an honor to learn from you and to be able to have this conversation with you.
Oh gosh, there's a lot I could learn from you. I don't know a thing about peace learning parenting. I want to, though.
We will have those conversations in the near future. I hope to have you back, and then we can have a conversation about peace learning and how it integrates with your message of healing.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Let's even within this conversation, I think peace learning applies to everything we're talking about, the integration of your personal experiences, your relationship with God, your hope heal journey, your detour in bringing this message of hope to millions of moms and people who are impacted with trauma. And so peace learning would be your orientation, your openness. So if you may, thinking about the mind and how mind is receptive, and you learn best when you are receptive, or you have a receptive mind, and applying that to your relationship, your faith, your connection to God. And when it comes from a strong and peaceful source, like your relationship with God, I think it makes it that much more meaningful and rich and deep.
Absolutely, I would totally agree that the depth that walking in fellowship with God can create allows you to combat the storms in your life very differently, and just be equipped to handle just the hard things we're all going through. So I totally agree.
Yeah. So sharing my personal experience, I often talk about this as, I never prayed so much than I have becoming a mother and going through motherhood challenges.
Oh, that's
right?
the truth, totally.
So the power of prayer, and I believe when you're in prayer and you're deeply connected, internally as well as your relationship with God, that something special happens there in terms of helping you communicate with compassion, with integration, with a peaceful message or a peace learning process.
Absolutely.
And perhaps through trauma, you have more skills or different tools to do this.
Well, that's what we would all hope, wouldn't we? That the hard stuff and the worst things that happen to us equip us for the other things that we have to do in our lives, including being moms. And I pray that is exactly what happens. Is I have sort of a richer reservoir to call upon because of what I've been through, and I know that's true in all of our stories. That we want to take both the good and the bad, the hard, the wonderful, and use it all to bring our best selves to parenting these amazing children God has entrusted to us.
That's right.
Which I should announce to the camera that no one really thought that I should have a baby again, a second baby. Wasn't probably in the cards for me after 11 surgeries and being on Medicare and having just loads of health problems. But miraculously, I did have a second child. Last summer, I became pregnant and had a baby in June of 2015, and he's around 18 months now, and his name's John. He's doing wonderful, and it's challenging to parent being fully disabled, and yet it's definitely a deep joy. I mean, it's incredible, and in many ways, it's definitely restoring many of the years that were taken from my early parenting life with James, and it doesn't begin to make that go away. I still miss those years with James, and that is a sadness. And as someone like yourself would say, that should be felt, that should be embraced and felt as a loss, and that's healthy.
Right.
But there is this tremendous new entire birth life in my home, and a growing little boy named John. So now we have James and John.
What a miracle! What a miracle!
And
I was so
really
excited.
is.
I followed you. I follow you on social media.
Oh,
and
you do?
I've been in touch and just really wanting to stay connected with you because you're such an inspiration. So I witnessed it, and I was so
thanks.
proud, and I'm so happy for you and your family.
You're so sweet, Nelly.
And
Thank
wishing
you.
your family a peaceful and cheerful holiday season.
Oh, thank you.
And I know when it comes to managing a family, and especially during times, holidays are times of peace and joy, but also some challenges because
Absolutely.
we get busy and there's a lot to do. How do you manage those the busyness and those challenges?
Oh
in your
gosh,
home?
well, you're so right. There's busyness, and there's complicated family dynamics, and there's just a lot of stress and hardship associated with the holidays. In addition to there being so many incredible things about them, it can be a time when people kind of break down. There's problems, and it's not easy. And I think staying true to what you know and clinging to that helps to really overcome the crazy, busy, going 100 miles an hour thing. It's really staying, just for me personally, I can't speak for everyone, but just staying true and revisiting the truths that I already know and that I believe from the Bible, that God is making all things new all the time and taking care of me and will never leave me and is pushing me onward, and that God is always faithful to me, and just believing and marinating on the truth that I already know, I believe makes a world of difference to everyone. Also, I think staying in isolation is the greatest detrimental factor to just destruction this time of year, that sort of holding up and getting away because you can't handle the busyness isn't really the solution. Absolutely, you need to protect yourself from 8,000 activities or whatever. But you've got to engage people, engage the world. I would argue engaging a church community is critical. Clinging to people who take care of you and love you and know you deeply is so key, I think, that isolation is just the worst. It just breaks you down and destroys you.
در رابطه با دوران I'm going to take a moment
Yes,
and translate
yes.
very important points. رابطه با کریسمس و ایام هالیدیز و ایام به اصطلاح کریسمس یا هانوکا یا دورانی که اینجا در آمریکا ما سپری میکنیم، نکته ای رو اشاره میکنن که درسته که در این ایام تعطیلات خانواده ها خیلی مشغول هستن و شلوغ هستش که شما اگر از ایران با ما هستین میدونین دوران نوروزی اینجوری هستش، بسیار فعالیت ها بالا هستش و در این دوران هستش که اگر شما به اصطلاح پرایورتایز بکنین، یک لیستی رو درست بکنین از اینکه چه چیزایی برای شما و خانواده شما و برای خود شما شخصاً به شما انرژی میده، شما رو کمک میکنه که احساس رابطه یا کانکشن داشته باشین در رابطه با جامعهتون، در رابطه با کامیونیتیتون، در رابطه با فامیل و زندگیتون و روی اون چیزها، اون نکات انرژی بذارین و کانکشن داشته باشین و رابطه برقرار بکنین. صرفاً روی اینکه حالا چه کارایی مهم هستش به عنوان اینکه خریدهای بسیار یا مهمونیهای بسیار یا کارهایی که شما رو فقط شلوغ و مشغول میکنه، اونها کارهایی هستش که انرژی شما رو از شما خواهد گرفت و اگر شما بیشتر حضور ذهن داشته باشین و با مایندفولنس به این دوران توجه بکنین یا رابطتون با خدا یا ایمانتون توجه بکنین، اون موقع هستش که با ایمان یا حضور اون ایمانی که دارین، حالا هر فیثی باشه، میتونین اون تصمیم ها و اون اقدام ها رو بکنین که رابطتون با کامیونیتیتون، اگر مسیحی هستین با چرچ، اگر مسلمون هستین با مسجد یا اون کامیونیتی که باش رابطه دارین و این شما رو کمک میکنه که احساس کانکشن یا رابطه در شما حفظ بشه و ایشون توصیه میکنن که از کارهایی که شاید خطرناک باشه و شاید آسیب بزنه به شما این هستش که شما خودتون رو تنها یا isolated نگه دارین. تنهایی شما یا اینکه توی اتاق خودتون رو حبس بکنین یا فقط تلویزیون تماشا کنین یا خودتون رو جدا بکنین از اون تحولات یا هیجانات این دوران ایام تعطیلات میتونه آسیب به شما بزنه. بنابراین اون کار رو هم نکنین. یه تعادل و یه بالانسی پیدا بکنین در رابطه با چگونه میخواین وقتتون رو در ایام تعطیلات سپری بکنین و اون کارایی رو که به شما انرژی میده و به شما احساس خوب میده و به قول معروف سویت سپاتتون رو میتونین پیدا بکنین در رابطه با خودتون، در رابطه با رابطتون با خداوند یا ایمان، در رابطه با جامعهتون، کامیونیتیتون و خانواده. اون آموزش صلح هستش یا صلح آموزی و صلح پذیری هستش که شما رو به یه جایی میبره که این تعطیلات رو میتونین اون وقت با خوشبختی و خوشحالی و شادی سپری بکنین و احساس خوبی در قلبتون و در دلتون بکنین. این نتیجه صحبت‌های خانم کاترین ولف هستش. میتونین به وبسایت ایشون برین hopeheals.com و ایشون گست سپیکر هستن، خیلی در کامیونیتیشون فعال هستن، میان و صحبت میکنن. اگر مدرسه‌ای دارین که دوست دارین ایشون رو دعوت بکنین در مدرسه شما، در کامیونیتی شما سخنرانی بکنن، میدونم سخنرانی هستن که همیشه خیلی مادران رو به خصوص به تحول درونی میارن و اونها رو کمک میکنن که یه دید نوعی، دیدگاه و نگاه جدیدی به اون ارزش‌ها و باورهایی که ما به عنوان یک انسان مهم هست بهش بپردازیم. To have a perspective in which you prioritize what's really important, what matters to the soul, And you, as a soul leader, have been able to impact so many moms, mothers, and fathers, parents, to stay focused on really what matters the most, and to stay true to your authentic self, and to be real, and to be connectional, to have a focus on your relationship with God as your number one relationship.
Totally.
Yeah.
So much of my body is messed up and doesn't work. I came in a wheelchair, and I can't use my hand, and I'm deaf in one ear, and I can't see. I have double vision. It's terrible. And my body on the outside is very broken. But that doesn't really matter. What matters is my soul, just like you're talking about, and it's just fine. It's grown from all this. So it's really kind of a paradigm shifting thing to get your head around, that your body isn't everything. What matters is the soul in here. This is kind of the shell, I believe, and a tent, a suit, and not the core of who I am. The core of who I am is my soul. And ultimately, that's all that matters.
That's right. نکته بسیار مهمی رو که بهش اشاره میکنن این که بدن من مثل یک به اصطلاح وسیله هستش که شاید شمایی که تماشا میکنین و منو میبینین و صورت من نصفش به اصطلاح عصب نداره و نمیتونم حرکتش بدم، با به اصطلاح ویلچر یا به اصطلاح راه رفتنم با آسیب و صدمه هستش، مشکل برام و این شکستگی یا این آسیب رو که شما از بدن من میبینین برای من هیچ معنایی نداره. توجه من یا اون فوکس من روی سول و روی روح و روان من هستش، روی روان و اون چیزی که در درون من میگذره هستش. و با این به اصطلاح شیفتی که داشتم، با این جابجایی توجه و اندیشه و نگاه هم توانستم که دیگران رو انگیزشون رو بالا ببرم روی اینکه فقط اون چیزی رو که میبینین در بیرون اون مهم نیست. بیشتر اهمیت روی این باید بذاریم که چی در درون ما هستش و در درون ما چی میگذره و نگاه درون ما چی هستش. و من با ایشون کاملا موافق هستم که امروزه ما در به اصطلاح دنیای امروزه، دنیای مدرن امروزه، یک کرایسیس، یک به اصطلاح بحران در رهبری توأم با اون روح و روان سالم تجربه میکنیم. بنابراین سول لیدرشپ و اون کسانی که میتونن نه تنها آگاهی و نگاه مهم و بازی داشته باشن روی اینکه چگونه دیگران رو راهنمایی بکنن در این راه، ما بحران داریم از نداشتن آن کسانی که اهمیت میذارن روی سول و سول لیدرشپ. و خب کاترین ولف از کسانی هستن که به خاطر آسیب و صدمه‌ای که بهشون خورده کاملا شیفت و این جابجایی دید ایشون به اهمیت استفاده از ارتقاء در روح و روان در رابطه برقرار کردن و کمک کردن و ارتقاء آگاهی در از to raise awareness and how important it is and how meaningful it is to shift your focus, like you say, from the outside and to move into the inside and your soul and who we are as beings, as relational beings, as human beings.
Absolutely. And as mothers, which I know is so much of the focus of this program, my son, when he's dying and old one day, is likely not going to be recounting, well, my mom really looked this way, or my mom always did her hair just right, or this or that. He's going to say, my mom modeled this or instilled this or gave me this tool of her character or passed on something much more than the surfacey stuff. So I think it's so important as women to kind of take back that, to rewrite that narrative in so many ways, that we have to look perfect or we have to seem this way or posture. I don't know, just a lot of dumb girl stuff. but recognize that if we're really about crafting the future of our children's lives, let's model for them the kind of people that they should be by how we live.
نکته بسیار مهمی رو بهش اشاره میکنن و اینکه من یک روزی که پسرم به اصطلاح مسن خواهد بود و پیر میشه و از این دنیا میره، در اون دورانی که برمیگرده و به یاد مادرش هستش، به یاد من هستش، به یاد رابطهش با من هستش، این تو ذهنش نخواهد بود که مادر من چه ریختی بود، قیافش چه ریختی بود، چه لباسی میپوشید، چه کیف و کفشی میپوشید و چگونه آرایش میکرد. در اون لحظه او به یاد خواهد آورد که مادر من کی بود، چه روح و روانی داشت، چگونه من رو انگیزه در من به وجود آورد، چگونه من رو راهنمایی کرد، چگونه روح و روان من رو کمک کرد که ارتقا پیدا بکنه، آگاهی منو بالا برد، رابطه با من داشت. بنابراین اون رابطه و کانکشن و soulful connection، از دل به دل، چگونه دو فرد یا مادر یا پدر و فرزند با هم دیگه رابطه برقرار میکنن، اون رابطه دل با دل هستش که به یاد فرزندان ما و در یادشون میمونه. دل فرد چجوری هستش، در دلش چی میگذرد. و برای کاترین وولف این پیام بسیار مهمی هستش. دوست داره که صداش شنیده بشه و شما بشنوین قصه او رو، زندگی او رو. اگر علاقه دارین بیشتر درباره او آشنا بشین، کتابش رو بگیرین، کتابش رو مطالعه بکنین. hopeheals.com وبسایت ایشون هستش. بسیار اکتیو هستن روی سوشال میدیا و میتونین جوین بکنین رو فیسبوک، روی اینستاگرام و باهاش در تماس باشین، چون پیام بسیار بسیار ارزنده و با معنایی هستش در من میدونم دوستی ما. Katherine Wolf, such an honor to have you on MomTalk.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's a blessing to be here.
And happy holidays to you. Merry Christmas.
Oh, thank you.
برای شما ایام بسیار خوشی رو آرزو میکنیم. روز و روزگار خوش و خدا نگهدار.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.